Managing money can be tricky, but with the right strategies, you can make your dollars work harder. Mark Foster from Credit Counseling of Arkansas is here with tips on spending wisely, saving effectively, and staying on top of debt. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me again.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. So, Mark, what are the most important financial habits people should focus on right now?
Well, there's a lot to choose from, of course, but perhaps being intentional is the best thing because there's so many things going on in life. It's so easy just to say, well, I'll get to that at some point or someday, but just being intentional, being mindful, having some essentials in place such as a spending plan, your own budget of things that you want and need, goals. Goals are a motivation for doing a budget and sticking with it. So if we have some goals, some practical goals, fun goals, that's our motivation for doing and sticking with the budget.
Yeah. People love to spend money, especially on things that they love and enjoy. So how can someone enjoy spending without hurting those long-term savings?
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big one.
Just tracking our expenses periodically and reviewing those to see where's my money going is important.
Right.
But having that budget, having that spending plan is so important. Having money set aside maybe in a fun account or an envelope or a little bank or however you want to do it.
Sure.
But this is my fun money, and I don't tap into my savings account for that is important.
Yeah, you're so right, though, and sometimes we lose track of that spending. I know recently I just did kind of a big overview of all of the services that I subscribe to so that I could see the ones that I need to get rid of, ones that I didn't think would add up, but $10, $15, $20 a month adds up over time, right? Especially for something, a service you're not using. So checking in and just making sure that your money is working for you is so important. I think that's right.
Yes, that's a big thing with a lot of us. If we're looking at a big expensive purchase like a HD TV, big $300, $400, $500 TV, we typically put some thought into that. But if it's just a $5 latte,
right,
it's no big deal, or a $10 lunch, so what?
Yeah.
And that's okay in moderation. But if we do that too often, like Ben Franklin said, beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship.
Yeah.
We do that often enough. What's the big picture for how much am I spending in a month or in a year?
Yeah, certainly. What's the smartest way to tackle debt without feeling overwhelmed?
The first thing to do is to deal with it. Sometimes people feel overwhelmed. And for example, we had a client one time who made an appointment and came in and said, I've got these credit card bills that are just overwhelming me, and so I couldn't bear to open them up. I just put them in a sack. And so they came in and met with one of our counselors. They had about 30, 40 pieces of mail, but when the counselor opened the mail with them, they found it was only about 6 creditors compared to 30 or 40.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of pieces of mail. So being proactive and let's tackle this and do something about it is important.
Yeah, that's right. Deciding to tackle it instead of just burying your head in the sand.
Well, or I'll deal with it later, because
Right.
whenever we deal with it later, it tends to grow and things can get worse.
Are there maybe some common money mistakes you see people making when trying to manage their finances?
Sometimes people will do things like I'll open up another credit card and they don't really have a good firm plan in place, and so now they just add up more on the card and then they have more debt.
Sure.
And that's not good. Or if they get a little extra money, and some people might shotgun out that money on the debt. I'll put a little bit on this one, a little bit on this card, a little bit on this one, and that's admirable to knock out that debt, but that's not the best way to do it. You want to target, public enemy number one. We're going to target either the highest interest rate or the smallest balance. So that's the debt avalanche versus debt snowball approach. And either way is valid and can work very well for you.
Right. How can maybe budgeting tools or financial counseling help make a real difference in someone's finances?
Budgeting apps, a lot of people love those and swear by those. And if that's helpful, that's terrific. A lot of times people want that financial professional to team up with them, to help them and cheerlead with them and give them valuable advice along the way. So that can just really help people get on the right track and stay on the right track to be successful.
If there's one tip you were going to give myself, our viewing audience right now, one tip with financial planning to think about, what would that one tip be?
be intentional, take a look at where you're at financially, make an inventory of these are my assets, these are my liabilities, these are my debts, these are the interest rates. Just knowing exactly where you're at really is a good step so you can go from there.
Yeah, you heard it here. Mark, thanks so much for joining us again. Credit
Thank you.
Counseling of Arkansas, we appreciate you.
Thank you very much.